Hey, you. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking to you. Are you looking for the best way to promote your podcast? It's easy. Just advertise your podcast to your ideal target audience. That's right, listeners of similar podcasts. Podbean has the best and most cost-effective options for you. Just go to the website sponsorship.podbean.com/STR. That's right, your friends here at Scout Team Radio are hooking you up. Go to sponsorship.podbean.com/STR and you will get the best deals to get your podcast rolling. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy Scout Team Radio.
Yeah.
You want to like them, but you can't.
Are you listening?
What?
Are you listening?
Did you bring me on this show to insult me?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all don't want it with us, man. We straight gangsters over here.
Straight
man.
gangsters. Yeah, good morning and welcome back. You're listening to Scout Team Radio. We bring it to you hot and live each and every morning, Monday through Friday, here on 12-Ounce Sports Radio. I am one of your gracious hosts. They call me
You are the
Loudbeard.
most egotistical, self-deluded person I have ever met.
Yeah, I'd say that's kind of true. And the man on the other microphone, he is a great American and a great patriot. You know him as
Yeah, it's your boy, Chris America, coming to you live this Tuesday, April the 16th, 2019. And Loudbeard, it is time to get the second episode of this week rolling. We had a great episode yesterday, I felt. And we got along. I felt like we got along. There was no fighting, right?
No fighting.
No fighting. Unlike two 60-year-old men who got into a fight in the UK. They're brothers, 160, 163, got in an argument over peaches, so one stabbed the other one. But at least it's not Florida man. It's UK man.
Yeah, I don't know that that's a good reason to get into a fight, Chris America. Does that sound like a good reason to you?
No, because, there's millions of peaches. Peaches for free. Millions of peaches. Peaches for me. Peaches come in a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown.
Is it still Poetry Month? I feel like it's not
It
Poetry
actually
Month
is. It actually is.
Oh, is
and
it
I
all of
forgot-
April? Was it April or March?
It's April. Poetry Month is April, and I forgot to do a poem yesterday. So I should do one now, right?
Wasn't that just your poem about peaches?
I guess we can make that my poem today.
Do you have another poem for us? Do you have like a list of poems in
Well,
front
remember
of you?
when we left off, I started this really good poetry about chimpanzees and beefcake pantyhose. Remember that?
I do. That was classic. Yep, that was good.
More verses came to me.
Okay.
Are you ready for them?
Go ahead.
The forces of evil in a bozo nightmare ban all the music with a phony gas chamber. 'Cause one's got a weasel and the other's got a flag. One's got on the pole, shoved the other in the bag. With the rerun shows and the cocaine nose job, the daytime crap with the Fultz singer slop. He hung himself with a guitar string, a slab of turkey neck, and it's hanging from a pigeon wing. You can't get it right if you can't relate. Trade the cash for the beef, for the body for the hate. And my time is a piece of wax falling on the termite that's choking on the splinters.
Beautiful. That was
Soy
just beautiful.
Unperadoro. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Get crazy with the cheese whiz.
All right. Well, Poetry Month is still in full effect, apparently. Thank you,
Yes.
Chris America, for your
You're
beautiful
welcome.
poem. That was just
Yes.
so touching. There's nothing else that I could even do to top that at this point. So, with all that being said, unless there is another fight about peaches or if there is a fight about anything else, I say we move on. And you're bringing up a fight. I think I have to start with this because It's probably not where you thought I'd be going, but the man, the myth, the legend, Alex Ovechkin, he shows his straight dominance last night, Chris America. And I'm not talking about how he plays hockey. I'm talking about this young rookie for the Carolina Hurricanes, Svechnikov, gets in it with Alex Ovechkin, and then they throw down gloves, and Ovechkin knocks him the blank out on the ice. The man is just knocked out cold. He looks like he's about ready to lose it, and they have to carry him out, and he doesn't return the entire game. So, lesson for all you youngsters out there, you don't pick a fight with the man that took the Stanley Cup and had keg stands out of it all summer long. That man you don't mess with. You don't try to start a fight with that man. You don't come in and say, okay, I'm a young rookie and I'm cool and I'm gonna pick a fight with the biggest, baddest dude. Guess what happens? You get knocked the blank out. That's what happens. Just saying, Chris America.
Well, for one, you were correct. That is not where I thought you were going. I thought you were going to talk about baby races at NBA games during halftime. That's where I honestly thought you were going. But I'm glad you did bring this up because you are correct. Don't go after the guy that does keg stands out of the Stanley Cup and partied it like it's 1979 at Studio 64. Is it 64? 94? I don't know. Anyways.
Studio 54, isn't it?
54. No. There we go. That's the number I'm looking for. John Travolta knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, so don't get in a fight with that guy. But do you think it kind of earns your other teammates respect that you at least tried? That you at least, like, the other teammates get it. They're like, yeah, you don't mess with Ovechkin. And they're like, oh, damn, the rookie just messed with Ovechkin. He got knocked out, but hey, man, kudos for trying.
No, I think this is one of those, like, dumb rookie. God, who brought that guy?
Who brought that guy?
That's
Leave
embarrassing
the
for the whole
rest of
team.
us.
We're a bunch of jerks, and now we're a bunch of knocked out jerks. It's just done.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I don't know, man. I'm looking at. I watched the fight, and man, he looks like he could have had a career in boxing. It was just so quick, fast hands, strong punch. I mean, Ovechkin's nobody to mess with, and I think the rest of his teammates are kind of like, rookie. I hope you learned your lesson. Be careful who you pick on. That's Ovi, man. Ovi's got some respect around the league, and I would say people around the league know that's the guy you don't want to get in a fight with. So rookie, I think he gets looked at it as being dumb, not as being a tough guy. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think I concur with that. There might be a couple of guys that are like mad respect dog for going up against Ovi, but yeah, I think if you get totally embarrassed, it just goes the opposite way. You had to at least put up a little bit of a fight to get the respect.
In hockey they do the old upper body, lower body injury report afterwards.
Yeah.
So he gets removed from the ice, and they say he will not return because of an upper body injury. Oh, really? We didn't notice that he just got punched in the face by Alex Ovechkin. I'm pretty sure his upper body isn't feeling too good. I'm 99.9% sure there was a concussion involved. This guy, he was not looking too good after this, so he may be out for a while. This probably wasn't good for him.
And you know what happened to Ovi? Sat out for 5 minutes probably for a major.
Yeah, exactly. He got in the penalty box. Probably got some guys handing beers over the glass to him and said, here, while you're sitting there, you just need a cold one, man.
And
Ovi, this is for you, buddy.
I'll say it again. We need this in other sports. We need it. I don't want to see guys suspended for 3. You know, if that was the NBA or MLB or even the NFL, those guys, we would be talking about how much big of a thugs they are and they'd be suspended. No, we need to bring hockey to other sports. Let these guys fight it out when they get on each other's nerves. Just a quick little fight. I don't like bench clearing. I don't want to see any of these melees. Just let it be mano-y-mano. That's what it is in hockey usually, mano-y-mano. And let them settle it out, and then you sit them in the box for 5 minutes.
Yeah. The problem is now what's going to happen is we're going to get some of these people that have this outcry for fights to end in hockey because this guy's probably going to have a serious head injury, and all of a sudden, once you start talking about head injuries, things get a little weird. So now, Chris America, I do have to mention that we do have a tweet coming in on our Twitter line. We are at Scout Team Radio on Twitter. Good friend of the show, That's right. Scott Kaiser's putting in his 2 cents here, and he says, OV is missing teeth. You never throw down with a hockey goon missing teeth, man. That's the rookiest of rookie moves. Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah. Fighting a guy with missing teeth, it either means he's been in lots of fights or he's lost his battle with gingivitis. One of the two.
The gingivitis battle, that's real, man. That's real. It's real sad. But no, I think it was the fight thing. Yeah, definitely not gingivitis, but you never know. Whoa. Hold on, Chris America. Guess what? We've got a call coming in. Well, hello. Good morning, caller. Welcome on to Scout Team Radio. How are you doing this morning?
Hello, it's Alex Ovechkin. How are you today, fellas?
Oh, I'm doing great. Ovi, man, how are you feeling? Is are your knuckles hurting like after that big fight last night? You feeling good, man?
No, I've had worse mosquito bites than what man's face did to my fist.
Oh, okay. So he was more of a pest than anything else to you.
Yes, he was like little bug. And me, I am strong like ox, and I play hockey forever and win cup.
Oh, you did. And you did a good job drinking out of that cup when you won that cup. Do these rookies, are they just a little misguided when they think they can start a fight with you? The man, Alex Ovechkin, who can knock out a rookie in less than 3 seconds?
Yes, it reminds me of little tiny man Napoleon when he tries to take over Mother Russia, and yet he fails to do it because Russians are ironclad. We do not bow down easily in Mother Russia, and we just take on all comers, and we knock them out.
Wow, that's impressive. So what do you think your Capitals' chances are of winning the whole thing again, going back-to-back? You think this is going to be a good year for you?
Yes, I think we need to win cups because I only drank about 1/3 the amount of what I wanted to do, and so I need to drink more vodka out of cup.
All right. Do you think you have more of a chance of getting into another fight or winning the Stanley Cup, or is it both inevitable?
I will probably get in fight while winning Stanley Cup.
Okay. Well, that's a good way to look at it. And so if another rookie steps up to you and you get into another fight, do you think that you could win? Should I put money down on this? Because I believe this is a prop bet in Vegas. And after that guy won $1.2 million on Tiger Woods winning the Masters, I feel like I need to put money down on Alex Ovechkin getting into another fight and knocking out another rookie. Can you make that happen for me so I can win some money?
Yes, I knock rookie out, and then you drink bottle of vodka with me while I sit in penalty box. I drink liquor. I drink liter of vodka. You drink liter of vodka.
Can I drink water and you drink vodka? I don't think I can hang with you. Like maybe a 2-for-1 where you drink 2 liters of vodka and I drink only 1 and I'm still way more trashed than you. Would that be okay?
I'm sorry. I did not know I was talking to girly man. Interview over.
Oh, God. What was that all about? Alex Ovechkin giving us a hot call here on the line this morning. You know, he is one of those guys that I'd love to meet him in person. It's nice to talk to him on the phone, especially with how good the Capitals are doing and how well he can fight. Love a good fighter on the show.
Yeah,
Chris America,
just don't
man,
tell
wasn't
him
that a
was
great
you
interview?
Just don't tell him that was you when you meet him, because he just called you a girly man for wanting to drink water instead of vodka. It's like you insulted his mother.
That's not true. I'm going to say it was you. I'm going to say it was them, Chris America. He's a Russian. He doesn't like Chris America. I'm already in.
We'll say it was Max Scout Team.
Do we even know who Max Scout Team is? Is that still a guy?
I have a vague memory of him.
Oh, do you?
He's in our intro.
No way.
Yeah, he's in the intro. So, talking about a fight, DeMarcus Cousins had a fight with the floor, and the floor won. And it's not looking good for DeMarcus Cousins.
No, it isn't. He's got a quad injury. They're going to do the old MRI today, but from everything that I've seen, all the reports, it does sound like he is going to be out for a while. But
yeah, and it sucks more for him than it sucks for the Warriors, because the Warriors have won titles without him. He was gone for half the season. They did end up losing last night, 135 to 131. But it sucks for him because I don't know that he had that moment or that season that he was looking for to get him his next decent contract. Because he's making, what, $5 million this year?
Yeah, he's on just a one of those contracts where you just got to prove it or just get through that, show that you're out of the injury bug situation. So this isn't good for him, but he's still going to get paid big time when his contract comes up this offseason.
You think?
He's going to get money.
I think he'll get another $5 million contract from somebody, maybe even the Warriors again.
No way, man. He's
Why?
getting $20 million plus. There's
You
no
think
way.
so?
Yes.
An injury-prone guy that really didn't. I mean, I got to check his numbers, but I don't remember anybody being like, "Oh, did you see DeMarcus Cousins go off last night?"
DeMarcus Cousins going to get paid, my friend. He is going to
Okay.
get paid. The only reason he didn't get paid this season is because he was coming off of an Achilles injury, which is
Yeah.
a serious injury, and that he was going to be out for half the year, guaranteed. And then when he came back, it was going to be just a slow recovery. Now, this quad injury, of course, this is going to matter, but this is going to be something that's more of a short term. Let's say he's out a month or two. He'll be ready for next season. As long as a team feels confident that he's going to give them a full season or maybe a full 2 or 3 seasons, they'll give him a big contract. Now, it may not be max contract, which I don't know.
Nobody should give him max.
Nobody should.
I don't think
know
he's
if
a max
you
player.
realize what these NBA teams do, but
Like, I feel like Vooch right now is more of a max player than DeMarcus Cousins.
I don't know. Cousins is up there, man. People have a lot
I
of
know he's good.
respect for his game.
I know he's good, but this whole injury thing is really got me nervous. I don't like paying money. You know, as a Redskins fan, what it's like to pay somebody a lot of money to have them go out 6 games into the season, and now you're stuck with that contract.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out there to you, Chris America. Though Magic Johnson left the Lakers, there is a GM out there that's starting to make some noise. And LeBron James last night, he tweeted prayers for Cousins. So as soon as DeMarcus goes down, LeBron's out there tweeting, letting DeMarcus know that he's thinking about him. And he may be one of those guys that recruits DeMarcus over to the LA Lakers. I could easily see LeBron James making a push to get DeMarcus Cousins over to the Lakers. And again, they're prone for train wrecks. The Lakers love a little bit of drama, and
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins would be the perfect guy to fall into that. But yeah,
So would that kill any deal with Anthony Davis? 'Cause didn't Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins not get along, or am I making that up?
I think you're making that up. I actually
Okay,
think they played pretty well together.
Okay.
It was just the injury kind of forced the hand with DeMarcus leaving.
I always
They
thought
weren't
he
gonna
was
re-sign him.
DeMarcus was forced out because he caused problems, and then it was like, no, it was just a big misunderstanding.
So I think the causing problems was more when he was in Sacramento.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I
And-
would cause problems if I was in Sacramento too, because I want to get out of there.
Yeah, it's a good point. Very good point. Even though Sacramento had its best year in the last 10 years this season, and they still fire their coach. What a tragic program
Yeah,
they have over there.
But they have the coach who has the longest winning streak in NBA history now.
They do. It's true.
What was it, like 30 wins Luke
Yeah.
Walton got
Luke
while he
Walton.
was the head coach of the Golden State Warriors? I
Yeah,
don't remember what it was. It was over 27. I know that much.
it was a lot. It was a lot.
I mean, they're going to win the championship now that they have Luke Walton, right?
Okay, sure. Keep telling yourself that, buddy. Come on.
So
Championship?
Do you like that hire?
I don't hate it. I actually don't think they should have got rid of their coach. I liked him, and I liked where they were going. Now, it's a young team, tons of talent. De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley III, Buddy Hield. I mean, just a lot of really good developing young players. So they need a coach that can develop those guys. The problem is Luke Walton, when he had the Lakers, had a similar situation with a lot of young guys in L.A., and I know it was derailed with LeBron coming, but I didn't see that he really helped these guys get over the top. So when I look at it as a whole, I don't know that Luke Walton is as good of a development guy as they need to help continue the development in Sacramento. So overall, I would have to say that no, I'm not a huge fan of it. I understand the hire. I understand Luke Walton's, I guess, the lure of bringing him in because he has shown flashes of being a great coach, but I'm not excited about that move. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not either. I thought it was way premature when he got the Lakers job, but it made sense because it was a bunch of young players, and you hope that the coach and the players grow together. Although I don't know that I want a young guy developing my young talent. I'd rather have a guy that knows what he's doing, but, I digress. And I thought he should have maybe taken another assistant job or maybe taken a head coaching job in college basketball. I didn't expect him to get a job 2 days after he mutually agreed to split ways with the Lakers. And I used air quotes that you couldn't see.
I mean, we live in a world where Cliff Kingsbury got a job in the NFL
You're
after being a failed college coach.
You're right.
That surprises you?
I guess. I don't know. I was expecting it to be like a week, maybe 2 weeks for Sacramento to come calling, but it was like as soon as he became available, they were on the phone with him.
Yeah, they must have been eyeing him for a while.
Or maybe they were talking to him before, and that's why he just kind of agreed, like, hey, you don't want me, and I got this other gig going, so why don't we just, quote-unquote, mutually agree to split ways?
Oh, the good old mutual agreement, huh?
Yes.
So I'm going to go back a little bit here to Golden State for a minute, Chris America. We moved off of this game last night. I didn't stay up to watch it because it is, that West Coast after dark.
Right, like 11:30 at night start time.
Yeah, that's a little bit tough when you got an early morning sports show and you live on the East Coast. But I was following this a little bit when I woke up this morning, saw some of the highlights, and the Clippers, they do the unthinkable. They come back from 31 down, and they get this big win over Golden State. I personally thought, I said it on the show, that Golden State was going to steamroll the Clippers, but the Clippers have shown me that they have life. They've shown me that they are not willing to give up. And this 31-point deficit that they came back from is the largest in playoff history. They leapfrog a performance by the 1989 Lakers where they came back from 29 points. So 31 points by the Clippers, the largest comeback in NBA playoff history, which that in itself is unbelievable. And they show that they have tenacity. They show the guys on the Clippers that needed to step up, stepped up. A guy like Lou Williams steps up and has 36 points. A guy like Montrezl Harrell steps up, gets 25 points, 10 rebounds. And these guys have the heart it takes to give the Warriors a fit. So all of a sudden, this 8th seed has made this series interesting. And I'm excited to now watch the Warriors-Clippers. After thinking the Warriors were going to steamroll them, now all of a sudden, after one game, overreaction, I'm coming back and saying, all right, what else can the Clippers do? What can they do to maybe take this to a Game 6 or maybe even a Game 7, Chris America? What do you think the Clippers can bring the Golden State Warriors to?
I need one more sample. Before I can give a prediction. Right now, I'm going to stick with Golden State still runs them, gives them a gentleman's sweep. I need one more game sample for me to jump on the Los Angeles Clippers bandwagon. Now, it is very alarming that they're up 73-50 at halftime. All those people who took that, who went to 12ouncesportsradio.com and clicked on my bookie tab and bet on that 13 points, that minus 13-point spread on the Golden State Warriors, they were feeling pretty good. You got to be feeling really good most of this game, right?
Yep. It's the fourth quarter that matters, isn't it, though, Chris America?
And in the fourth quarter, the Clippers scored 41, and somewhere the Golden State Warriors disappeared and scored 23. And I think that's what makes that 31-point comeback way more impressive. You talked about the Lakers doing that. I'm assuming that was with Kobe Bryant, probably, and it was against like a lesser team. Like, this is impressive.
It was 89, so it was Magic Johnson era.
Okay, so I'm sure it was still like they were a 1 seed or a 2 seed, and they came back against an 8 seed that they had just fell asleep on in the middle of the game, and then, we got to turn this on and win. Where the Clippers are like, they have to beat the Golden State Warriors, one of the best shooting teams of all time, and somehow they got them to go on a drought and overcame that 31-point deficit to win 135-131. That is impressive. Can they do it again?
You know, I like the Clippers because I think Doc Rivers is one of the most underrated coaches. Some people will say he's overrated because he does get a lot of attention. I love me some Doc Rivers. And on a side note, Doc Rivers, being such a great coach, he also gave a shout-out to a Good Samaritan. I don't know if you caught this story, Chris America. He pulled one of those jobs where you pull your cell phone out of your pocket and something else falls out of your pocket, and he was on the streets.
Happens to me all the time.
And honestly, it really does. I always like, oh man, did I lose something else? I try not even to keep anything in my pockets because every time you pull out your keys or your cell phone, it seems like something else falls out. Well, in Doc Rivers' situation, he's a baller, right? When you're a baller, you don't just keep like $20 in your pocket. You keep $2,000 in your pocket. So a guy on the street sees Doc Rivers pull out his cell phone, and $2,000 falls on the ground. I'm assuming in a money clip or something. I don't know. I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna improv some of these details of this story. So he pulls it. A money clip falls down with a fat stack of whatever in it, and a Good Samaritan comes up and gives Doc Rivers. He's like, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Here, you dropped something. Oh, here's your $2,000 back." So Doc, in a press conference, shouts out this Good Samaritan. He said if the Good Samaritan hadn't run off so quickly, he would have given him some really good seats to the game. So Good Samaritan out there, nobody even knows who you are, but good for you for giving Doc Rivers back $2,000, and good for Doc Rivers for giving my man a shout-out on a press conference.
One, that is Oprah solid.
That is hashtag it, Oprah solid, doing it today.
Two, when I want to be a baller, I become a shot caller with 20-inch blades on the Impala.
All right, you're taking this poetry thing too far, Chris America. Look at you. You're like a poem master. If I do say so myself.
I just got to get tapped into my poetry side. It's making me feel very poetic, and I'm loving it.
Oh,
so Loudbeard, we did it again.
No, we didn't. We did.
No,
what
we did.
We do.
We did it again. We
buried the lead.
We've motivated another NBA team to get off their rumps and start playing the basketball to the level that they can play it. First, it was the Celtics. Remember, we trashed the Celtics. We told them they need to get their act together, and then they went on like a 5 or 6 game winning streak.
Yes.
Yesterday, we were trashing the 76ers. We were talking about how my friend Coach Jackson wouldn't put Embiid or Johnson into the game because they're playing on their phones. Well, they listened, and they said, "Scout team is right. We need to get our act together, guys." And they came out and they blew out the Nets 145 to 123. An emphatic win, an emphatic comeback. You had Joel Embiid coming out, coming out, scoring 23 points, 10 rebounds. Ben Simmons with a triple-double. Solid win by the Sixers.
Yeah, it really was. And I think the most impressive part about this whole thing was the third quarter. The Sixers straight up dominated in the third quarter. They scored 51 points. I was watching this game, and I was sitting there thinking, man, what else can the Nets do? The Nets were fighting, they were kicking, they were scratching, and the Sixers could not miss. They were hitting three-pointers. They were just on this hot streak that was unstoppable. Then you get early in the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden, it's one of those situations, Chris America, and I hate this, but the Brooklyn Nets coach was down. They're down 30 points with 10 minutes to go in the game, and they're like, that's it, we're conceding this game. And then all of a sudden, all the starters sit down, and they pull out the deep on the bench, bring in all the bench guys. So a guy like Ben Simmons with a triple-double, he only plays 30 minutes. Like, he's not even having to play a full game. He's playing 3 quarters, and he gets 18, 10, and 12. I mean, this guy played lights out, and I don't think he played too hot for game one. So this was a nice bounce back for Ben Simmons. Great game for him. J.J. Redick played really well.
Yes, Jimmy Johnson Redick.
Yep. He hit some key shots when they needed it. So the Sixers looked like the dominant force that we know they can be. They have got 4 All-Stars on their team, and when you have a lineup with 4 All-Stars and a guy like J.J. Redick who could be considered a fringe All-Star from time to time, I mean, you've got a death lineup, kind of like the Golden State Warriors have. You need to come out and show it, and last night the Sixers showed it the best way that they could, and that was by straight-up humiliating the Nets on the Sixers' home court. So the fans who booed them after Game 1, you know how Philadelphia fans are, Sixers fans, they're pretty vicious. They booed that team after Game 1. After Game 2, they are now all happy again, cheering their boys on.
Yeah, there's love in the air again tonight in the city of brotherly love.
It is the city of brotherly love, and it's the city of poetry, a city of poems, a city of everything. And
Of grease up light poles.
Oh, you had to bring in the grease poles again, didn't you? You always
Always.
talk about grease poles.
Always.
That makes me wonder what your ulterior motives are. Well, Chris America, on the return, I'm going to tell you something that I'm going to write out a check for you. $65 million guaranteed dollars right now just for you to sign on as being my co-host, because I think that is what you deserve. And I'm going to tell you why when we return.
Already spent it.
Hey, Kawhi, what are you laughing at, man? This isn't funny. Fantasy sports reimagined. FanDuel, that's what I'm talking about. It is more than just fantasy sports. It's the best way to watch the games, win real cash, and bring the action right to your living room. Just choose a contest, make your picks, watch, and win. And if you go to FanDuel.com/STR today, you can get a $5 deposit bonus. Once again, that's FanDuel.com/STR. Come on, man. This is not a laughing matter.
When I'm working hard, I build up a thirst for sports. That's when I grab a cold 12-ounce sports radio. Ah, 12-ounce sports radio. Quench your sports thirst.
If you've been listening to Scout Team Radio for a long time, you know that myself, Loudbeard, has placed a bet or two in his day. That's right, I've lost the beard bet, I lost the romper bet, but one place I don't like losing is when I bet money, and I can easily do that at MyBookie. That's right, you can go to mybookie.ag, use promo code 12OZSports, and get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000. Hey, guess what? That is a lot of money. Do it.
Hey everybody, it's your favorite Patriot, Chris America, and I want you to listen every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and on replays from 11 a.m. to noon of Scout Team Sports. Listen, George Washington did not cross over the ocean blue in 1492 to defeat the Nazis, so you can listen to the same tired national clickbait sports stories. So once again, tune in to us every single morning, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., and then we replay from 11 to noon. I will see you there, and God bless America.
Good morning, and thank you all for listening in. Once again, we are Scout Team Radio. I'm Loudbeard. He's Chris America. We bring it to you hot and live each and every weekday morning, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. on 12-ounce Sports Radio. We also drop each episode as a podcast. You can find that podcast in many different places. You can find it at Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Just search Scout Team Radio. We also drop it out on a podcast network. That's right, we've partnered with Barnburner. You can find them at barnburner.ca. So Barnburner drops our podcast on their podcast network, so we appreciate those gentlemen up there in Canada. Good people up there. I also wanted to let you all know that it is great when you interact with us. This morning, we're getting some hot tweets in from Scott Kaiser. Make sure you hit us up at Scout Team Radio. If you're listening right now to the podcast and it is not live, don't feel bad. You can still hit us up on Twitter. We will read your tweets on the air. We will talk about your topics. We will talk about your subjects. We enjoy getting interactive with all of our listeners out there. And without further ado, I just have to say that Chris America, you're doing such a great job. I know you threatened moving on to another podcast. You threatened that maybe that you would like to be on a podcast up in New York. But after many discussions and many deliberations, we've decided to go ahead and sign you for an extension. Mm-hmm. So, Chris America, I'm going to give you a $65 million signing bonus today for all of
Yes.
your great work. So congratulations for being a scout teamer for life now.
And I went on a online bidding auction for Zion Williamson's broken shoe, and it's the starting bid started at $250,000, and I said $65 million, and the whole room gasped, and then I won the auction.
Wow. Yeah, you're good with your money. You're
Yes.
just like you're like the guy that bet on Tiger Woods. I read the full story on that, and it was one of those situations where they're like, well, he decided that, he's a regular guy. He's got a mortgage. He's got car payments. He's got student loans. But he thought that he was willing to lose it all of his life savings, $85,000, every penny that he had in the bank, he brought up because he really thought it would be a good idea to bet on Tiger Woods, and it was his first time ever betting on sports. Is that a weird story to you? Like, the whole thing doesn't make sense to me.
That sounds more like a gambling degenerate type storyline.
Right.
But to say, like, I'd want more. I would want to know more. I'd feel like I don't believe that that's his first time gambling.
Yeah, no, the whole well, he is. I think he was a
Especially
day
on something
trader.
that's
So
such a long shot.
yeah, I don't know the day trader thing. I mean, that to me is like
I guess
gambling
that is
anyway.
that is definitely gambling. I don't care what
Yeah.
anybody says. I mean, they say it's smart gambling, but it's still there's risks. There's a reason why there's a whole Securities Exchange Commission
Yeah,
that follows that kind of thing.
This risk paid off and big time for this guy. Another risk that paid off, Russell Wilson. He's had his contract extension talks have been going on for quite a while. Well, he decided to call out the Seahawks and say, if you don't make a deal by April 15th, we're not going to discuss it anymore, and then I'll go and we'll figure it out at the end of the season when I'm a free agent. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, there was these rumors that he wants to go to New York. He wants to be a Giant. And as soon as these rumors started happening, all of a sudden the Seahawks said, whoa, we might lose this guy. We better pay up. So Russell Wilson gets the agreement. They finally, on the final hour, they pull the trigger. They get the contract extension, 4 years, $140 million deal with a $65 million signing bonus. Man, now Russell Wilson has some serious pocket change, Chris America, but that is a heck of a signing bonus if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and some of those radio shows were talking about it, and they're like, he deserves this because he's the next in line to get it. And that's how the rules work. And I think that's awful economics. I think you should get whatever your play is worth, not because you're the best quarterback free agent or you're the best quarterback with their contract coming up. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, because I think he does bring a lot of recognition and everything to the Seahawks. But man, making him the highest paid player in the NFL, I don't know about that, man. I just don't know. But I also know that he's kind of hurting his legacy, I feel like, by continuously asking for more and more money, because the Seahawks haven't been good since they paid him last time. And now I don't know if they're able to be any better that they're paying him even more money. He should have gone the Tom Brady route, man. And that's why, as much as Scott Kaiser and a lot of other people don't like to admit it, that's why I love Tom Brady, because he does the things that most people don't do.
Yeah, Jordan did the same thing back in the day. He took less money. Some of his teammates were making more money than him because he had endorsements. He had all these other things, and it helped his team out in the long run. And you look at guys like Michael Jordan and Tom Brady, we are talking about some of the greatest athletes, the greatest, biggest names of all time in the world of sports doing the right thing. And when you look at some of these highest paid quarterbacks, it's the next thing to happen, right? Like, we talk about Stafford getting a big payday, Derek Carr getting a big payday. Those guys didn't deserve those big paydays either, but then when they got paid, they got the highest paid contract. So who's the next available quarterback? As long as you're a starting quarterback, and a guy like Russell Wilson has won a Super Bowl for your franchise, has gone to a Super Bowl, right, taking you to 2, I guess the right thing to do is pay him. Now, they probably were second-guessing paying that much money, because as soon as you pay these big-ass contracts, you all of a sudden hamstring your entire team because you can't pay all these other guys. The teams that are able to pay the other contracts are teams like Chicago, when they got a guy like Trubisky that's on a rookie deal. Because Trubisky's on a rookie deal, you can pay Khalil Mack. You can pay these other guys, and the rest of your team is so much better. But a team like Seattle, as soon as they paid Russell Wilson, all of a sudden, you can't pay Richard Sherman, he leaves. You can't pay Earl Thomas, he's leaving. You can't pay all of this, and your Legion of Boom, the rest of your team that was the heart and soul of those Super Bowl winning teams, it disappears. And it's because you pay so much for the quarterback. But that's just the life of the NFL at this point. That's what happens. You have to pay your quarterback. Otherwise, they would have to reset and get a rookie quarterback or bring in a retread veteran-type guy, and they weren't willing to do that. It was better to pay him, and the market yielded that much money for Russell Wilson, and somebody else would have paid him that much money. It's not like your DeMarcus Cousins argument. Somebody would have paid Russell Wilson. That I can guarantee.
Oh, without a doubt. No doubt about it. And like you'd mentioned, if there's anything more scary, if there's anything scarier than overpaying a quarterback, it's not having a quarterback at all. And
Yes.
the Seahawks are a team where without Russell Wilson, they're probably a 4-12 team. Maybe 6-10. And I'm being generous because the Seahawks were good last year, but they weren't great. And I feel like Russell Wilson helped them win a lot of games, and he was that kind of edge to get them over a couple of games. And they made it to the playoffs, and they did okay, but they're not the Seahawks of old when Russell was on that rookie contract deal. And if he leaves, they have to start over. They have to hit the restart button. They have to go and start looking for another quarterback. Do they take a guy like the Nick Foles of the world or the Alex Smiths of the world, or do they go the rookie route where you don't know what you're going to get?
Yeah, and that's a scary proposition. Like you said, if you do not have a quarterback, it is a scary, scary place to be in the NFL. And to say Russell Wilson brought them to the playoffs, how many other teams in the league would love to say that they made the playoffs? I know, me being a Redskins fan, I would have loved to have said last year, oh, my team made the playoffs. You being a Panthers fan, same thing. Our teams have not made the playoffs. And we are looking at it thinking, man, if we had Russell Wilson, it's almost a shoo-in to get into the playoffs at least, every other year when you have a guy of that talent at the quarterback position.
Yep. And we just talked about the draft, Loudbeard, and it's coming up. Is it this week? No, it's next week, right?
Yeah,
next Thursday.
25th, right? April 25th.
And we missed this story because we were off, but the Carolina Panthers met with a quarterback that's in the draft. And should I read the tea leaves? He is one West Virginia quarterback, Will Grier.
Ooh.
Should I start reading the tea leaves? Are they kind of starting to kick the tires on Cam Newton's replacement? Are they listening to Chris America, who says maybe it's time to have an insurance policy, a backup plan in case this shoulder thing doesn't work itself out?
Oh, they absolutely should, because it seems like when Cam Newton's done, if he gets out injured in a season, there's always a crazy replacement. Somebody that you're like, this guy should not be quarterbacking a team. They never seem like they have the right guy in place as a backup for Cam Newton, even though Cam Newton has been injury-prone throughout his career. So the Carolina Panthers, whether it's the guy waiting in the wings to replace Cam Newton or the guy that's just going to be there and be a great backup when Cam Newton gets hurt, because he will get hurt at some point, Will Grier would be a great guy to be in that spot.
Yeah, I'd rather have him than the rotating terrible backup quarterbacks that have no shot of winning. And you got maybe a future. So it's like an insurance policy for both. If Cam Newton can never come back, and if Cam Newton comes down, maybe Will Grier's good enough to manage the game to get you those wins. Because once Cam Newton wasn't himself, once he got injured, the Panthers lost so many games in a row. It was devastating. I think they were like 6-1 or 6-2 at one point. And then Cam's shoulder goes out against the Steelers, and he never was the same again. And the wheels fell off for the Panthers.
Yeah. As soon as Alex Smith broke his leg, the wheels fell off on the Redskins. I feel you, man. I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly. And it's that position when you don't have a quarterback. And in your situation, Cam Newton, he gets hurt. And so he still plays, but you don't have that same dynamic quarterback that he was. He couldn't throw the ball. His accuracy was terrible, and you could tell he was struggling. So once you're to that point where you don't have a quarterback that you can trust or count on, you're done. You're absolutely done. So that quarterback position is so important. So, Chris America, I'm going to move on from this
Yeah.
quarterback dilemma, if you don't mind.
Sure.
There's a few other things I want to move on to. Quickly, I'm going to give you a little baseball update. Christian Yelich is just continuing his torrid pace. He has 3 home runs and 7 RBIs last night as the Brewers beat the Cardinals 10-7. One of these kind of historic nights for Christian Yelich. They call it the hat trick, right? 3 home runs, unbelievable. So great action there in the Major League Baseball. Also, this is a non-story that I need to bring up, even though it is a story. It's the biggest non-story I've ever heard. But Zion Williamson yesterday declares for the NBA. Woo! Big story
What?
there. Big
Oh,
surprise.
Man. God, I got to contact my bookie. I bet on the that he would stay.
Yep, that is big for your bookie. Other
I
news.
gotta start packing my bags, dude. I gotta get out of here.
This is
I'll hit you up on a burner phone, let you know when I'm ready to do a show. But probably
yeah.
have
I
to go to,
never
like, Montana or
thought he
something.
would declare for the NBA. This is shocking for us
Surprising.
all. I hope all of our listeners out there are sitting down. You got to sit down for that news. Zion declared for the NBA. Oh, and I bet he's going to be the number 1 pick. I don't know about you, but I might want to
Blackbeard?
put $85,000 on that.
That
would be a good bet. Hmm?
But the sun is hot.
Ooh, good one. That's also good.
Water
So,
is wet.
Tiger Woods, not only did he win the Masters, but there is other big news. He is an award-winning golfer. President Trump has decided to award Tiger Woods the Presidential Medal of Freedom. So Tiger Woods is having one of the greatest weeks ever.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good honor to have. And I think he deserves it. You really start thinking about his story, what he's been through, and you're hoping that he's finally got his life together, that he's finally got his health together, and that we can see that top 10 golfer we know Tiger Woods can be. And they were asking, like, what is the greatest comeback story? And they talked about the Red Sox being down 0-3 against the Yankees, the Cleveland, I wanted to say Browns, the Cleveland Cavaliers being down 1-3. And there was another one in there that there was like a 1-3 comeback that I can't think of right now. And I still thought about it. I was like, no, this one's 10 times bigger than all of those combined, because it was like a 10-year thing that had to occur. He had to battle through so much, where the other ones is just luck and chance happened to go their way. This was a struggle for Tiger Woods, I think. And I wish he would have documented it, because I think a lot of people can get a lot of help from his story and what he had to go through to build himself back up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he had the highest of highs, and then he had the lowest of lows. So Tiger Woods went through this roller coaster, and he's back up on top of the world. And, you know, a lot of people are forgiving of him because he came out and he admitted to his mistakes, and he had to work hard to get back to where he was. You know, people don't like it when things are just handed to you, and it felt like the beginning of his career, a lot of stuff was just handed to him. I mean, he worked hard for it, but it was so natural the way it came to him. This time, it took 11 years for him to get back to a major, win a major. And when you look at that, he had to fight through a lot of adversity to get to that point. So yeah, he's a really great story as far as being somebody that can overcome adversity, that can really make a change in their life for the better, and really somebody who now probably looks back and recognizes how important some of these feats are, and how precious it is, because it can go away so quickly. All of the great things you have in life can go away so quickly. So, I mean, it is great to see Tiger finally pulling it back and being back to the top of the hill where he deserves to be, a legend.
Yes, and I hope we get a couple more wins. I honestly, part of me really wants to see him pass Arnie. Or not Arnie, but Jack.
Jack. You know, I want to see, and this sounds kind of cheesy, but I'd like to see him get to the 18th major, win it, and then retire and call it a
that
career.
would be kind of cool too.
Yeah, and just say, this is out of respect to Jack. I've gotten to the point in my career, and it may take a year or 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. If he wins a major at age 46 or 47, which that's kind of a feat in itself, if he does that as the 18th major and then retires after that, to me, that would be, one, the ultimate respect in the game of golf for one of the other legends, and 2, just such a great story. That to me is what I would like to see Tiger do.
What would be cool is if he won the 18th major and his 6th Masters at the same time and then retired.
Yeah.
Because
Wow.
that would tie Jack with the most Masters wins as well.
Yeah. That would be great, Chris America. We can only dream of such a
He only
scenario.
needs 3. He only
does.
needs 3 more. So he can, if he wins 1 each year for the next 3 years, he's solid.
Yeah, and I mean, it's easy to say that though. Those are
Yeah.
tough
He's got
competition in
He's
those
got one in the
majors.
bag already with 3 more opportunities to go. So he might win 2 this year. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, let's see what Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth and the rest of those guys say about all that. But we'll see. I feel confident in Tiger at this point. I'm sure everybody else does. Now, Chris America, you know what else is must-see TV? Sunday, watching Tiger win the Masters was must-see. But tonight, I'm telling you right now, the slate of sports games on tonight, in all sports, we're talking basketball, we're talking baseball, we're talking hockey. Tonight is a big night. Number 1, I'm going to say NBA, huge night. We've got Thunder versus Blazers, Spurs versus Nuggets, and we have your Orlando Magic going up against the Raptors. How are you feeling about this big game tonight? Did I lose you, Chris America? All right, well, we've got another big slate, not just in the NBA. We've got baseball, Red Sox versus Yankees, the ultimate rivalry coming at you. We also have a big matchup, Mets versus Phillies. I'm looking forward to that one. You get to see Bryce going up against that Mets squad, which is solid all the way around.
Test.
Hey,
Testing,
can you
1,
hear
2,
me all
3.
right, Chris America?
Yeah, finally back. I don't know what happened.
I know
I could
you
hear
just
you,
disappeared.
and I was talking to the mic, and I just exited out of the studio and came back in. The
Yeah,
old
and then I all of a
restart
sudden I
thing.
hear
But I
test.
was saying,
Test.
yeah. I was saying that the Orlando Magic, I am pumped. I said earlier in the season, I'm going to ride the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. And right now, the Magic are doing well. If I had my phone plugged in, I could play the Orlando Magic song, but just remember Hocus Pocus, Alakazam, the spirit will set you free, Orlando Magic, oh, I'm pumped, man. Let's do this.
Okay. Look at that. You're doing good. So you're going riding the highest of highs. So
Yes.
Magic versus Raptors tonight.
Right now, we're on a high.
I think Toronto bounces back. It's still in Toronto. I think they even the series 1-1, but I would love to see your Magic, get up 2-0 on this series. It should be a good matchup. I'm sure guys like Kawhi and Kyle Lowry are looking to bounce back. Kyle Lowry had 0 points in that first game. He has got to play better. Though I don't think the Magic players, Terrence Ross didn't have a huge game 1, and Vooch had just an okay game. So I think there's room for improvement there. So let's see what the Magic can do. Let's see if they can make some noise.
When you got names like DJ Augustine and Michael Carter Williams leading the floor, man, it's unstoppable. Go Magic.
DJ Augustine had such a big
he
game
did.
1. Unbelievable. Now, Spurs versus Nuggets. You think the Nuggets bounce back against the Spurs?
Ooh, they're going to have to. I think
They're
they need
gonna
to
have
pull. I think they're going to have to talk to the 76ers. Maybe they got to listen to some more scout team because we ragged on them too. So they need a big win here. They
Yep.
can't go down
And-
0-2 and go back to San Antonio. That is not a good thing for them to do.
And the same story here, Thunder versus Blazers. Thunder got to bounce back too, right?
Yeah, Billy Donovan needs this series. Billy Donovan cannot lose this first round, or he'll probably be fired before the last game is over.
And it would be deservedly so. I'll say. to you,
Yeah,
Chris
unfortunately, and it sucks because I really had high hopes for him. I thought it was a good situation for him to go to. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, the talent was there for him to win a title, and it just never came to fruition. And I don't know why. I don't pay enough attention to the Oklahoma City Thunder, but hey, Billy, there's always a place for you back in Gainesville, buddy.
Now, in the hockey world, we have some elimination games tonight. We've got the Tampa Bay Lightning up against the ropes, 0-3 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Do the Lightning squeeze off a victory here to make their historic comeback?
Yes, they are good enough. They are great enough, and gosh darn it, people like them. I think they're going to do it.
Islanders versus Penguins. You've got the Penguins sitting there 0 0-3 in this series. So the Islanders have them up against the ropes. Can the Islanders finish off the Penguins, or do they have a little bit of fight left in them?
I think Crosby's going to come out. He's going to light his hair on fire. He's pumped up after that Ovechkin interview that he heard on the Scout Team radio, and he's gonna score some goals and win some games.
Yep, and then lastly, well, there's the Jets versus Blues. That's going to be a good game, but I like the Sharks versus Golden Knights. I can see the Golden Knights coming out hot again. Mark Stone's just tearing it up. I love what the Golden Knights are doing. This could be their year. I mean, after the Lightning have looked so poor in the playoffs, I got to find another team to get behind. So I might be jumping over to that Golden Knights train.
Woo woo! All aboard!
And
this train's leaving the station, man. You got one more thing?
No, I was just going to say, what a great night in sports, man. I love it. I'm looking forward to it. And this train, you can't be stopped, Chris America. And
No.
there's baseball. There's baseball, too. I said it when you had cut out, but Red Sox versus Yankees and Mets versus Phillies, two big-time rivals and matchups coming at you tonight. So we need like 10 TVs in our houses, right?
Seriously.
Like, so we can have all of them. That's the only thing you can do.
Well, we're just a small town girls living in a lonely world. So we're taking this midnight train going anywhere. See you tomorrow.
Peace. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all for listening in.
I'm going to have to spend all day writing my next poem for tomorrow.